Check it out. Check it.
Well, I am so excited to be here at Legends Barbershop. So just to give you a little history about the Confess Project, we were founded in 2016, working to train barbers to become mental health advocates. We recognized early on that the barbershop was a place where we could bring back and heal our communities. And so we're so excited as we work to get rid of the stigma around mental health, as we work to teach skills of active listening and positive communication.
Dontay, thank you very much and appreciate your leadership. We're looking forward to doing even a wider partnership with the Confess Project and with you and your team. So looking forward to it. Thank you. So as we start the conversation, as we know, our barbers are more than barbers. They're advocates and they're our trusted friends. When we sit in the chairs, fellas, our barber says, "How you doing?" And they're not just asking for the heck of it. And what NAMI's mantra is, we meet you where you are. Not where we want you to be, but where you are. So how do you feel when you sit in the barber's chair in terms of interacting with your barber and their interest in knowing how you're doing?
You know, I think for myself is knowing that I'm in a place where I can be heard and I can be seen.
I deployed to Iraq in 2006, and in 2007, I was shot in both legs during an ambush by a sniper. And when I came back home to Rochester, I'm from Rochester, New York, I spent a lot of time in my barbershop because those are guys who knew me since I was a little kid. And thinking about therapy and things like that, I didn't think about therapy like the work I do now with NAMI. Back then, I was just talking about what I went through with guys who I've known pretty much my entire life.
I can remember going to my barber, and my barber was that person that I trusted with all my personal information, my deepest concerns, my hurts, my pains. And that barber was just a trusted counselor. He was there to help me become a better man, because I was at a point, guys, that I didn't feel like I was able to be the best version of myself, because I had the whole world on my shoulders. You know, I was at that point, you know, my mom was missing, and I was working a dead-end job, and I was just existing. And that barber helped save my life. It's so pivotal, especially in our communities, to understand that we as Black men, we just want to be not only valued, but be appreciated. And the barbershop gives us that sense of belonging, sense of community.
So to the folks that are sitting here with us, is there anything that you want to share in terms of what you know about the experience of when you come to a judgment-free zone and being able to listen and be heard?
For sure. So I can say my first time coming here, I feel like this place chose me. I didn't choose this place, because I can tell you I was just standing right out there and this guy who was cutting your hair said, "Come here." You feel me? So I was like, okay, I'm selected, I'm chosen, this is going to be a good haircut. And I came in here and we had a conversation. He was just speaking life into me, wisdom, and I just felt comfortable. And as a young college scholar, you feel me, I take insight and I take advice and I take everything that people say to me. Because when people have gone through, they say it to you so you don't have to go through it as well. And it's like advice, and it's just like a stepping stone to help you in some way, some shape, some form. So I feel like you come in here, you talk about your business, you say what you gotta say. If you have something on your heart, you feel me, you express that. And it's like you don't get judged, because there's no judgment, I feel like, because what you're going through, someone has probably also gone through as well. You just don't know it yet. So when you speak up and you're the first to say something, you're setting the example, you're setting the stepping stone for others to say something as well. And that's how you get that judgment-free zone, because you can't judge what everyone has gone through. You feel me?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate that. And he picked you, you didn't pick him.
Yeah.
Now, how was the haircut? How was the haircut? That's what I want.
was A1.
Okay, all right. That's kind of dangerous me asking why he's cutting my hair, right? So, you can have somebody to come in you haven't met, and all of a sudden they instantly become family. How does that happen? How do you all make that happen as barbers?
Us as barbers, we are, we form our networking. So, we call our clients, see how you doing, send them a text, and because that goes back to mental health. You never know what they're going through.
And look, and believe it or not, a lot of your clients, they value your opinion. So they value what you say. So when you call to check on them and they're not expecting that, and they can be at work or they can be sitting in traffic and they phone ring and Stone like, man, what's going on with you, bro?
Yeah.
I'm just calling to check on you. I ain't seen you in a while. How your kids? That makes the bond that much stronger. So if they were going through something in life, they would be more comfortable to open up.
Yeah.
Which in return, that will give them access to any resources that we may have as barbers.
Yes.
Such as like the Confession Project.
Yeah. Sometimes we as black men, we don't want to open up because we don't want you to see us as, oh yeah, well, he's not as strong as he should be, or we use some other words, and so sometimes we don't want to share that because it may be something we're navigating through. It may be some depression, some anxiety, but we don't want our friend to see us as being vulnerable, as seeing us as being, I think the other word is weak. So the stigma continues to grow. So how do you guys help us with that from the standpoint of, because we trust you. We're sitting in your chair, you're navigating our hair, so you're helping us with our look when we walk out the door, but our look is cosmetic. What's going on inside is even more powerful.
It's one thing being a man. It's another thing being a black man and face the historical challenges that we've faced and currently, and how we don't talk. We don't have those types of conversations in an open way. In an intentional way, because you need to see me as a man. You don't need to see me as nothing less.
Yeah, I speak from personal experience. I come from a domestic violence home. So I think the biggest thing would be, and I've seen a lot of different things, growing up in that type of home, but you would have to create what you would call a safe place, right?
Yes.
It would have to be safe. And that's one of my favorite things, the judge-free zone. What says here in this chair stays here. And I think that's why a lot of people open up to barbers, because barbers got a story too, every last one of us in here.
When you come to a barbershop and it's you and your client in your chair, give them time to talk and nobody else hear you, you'd be surprised at the things I heard when people was in my chair. They really give you their heart.
How do we reduce the stigma in our community? How do we address the stigma?
We address it by speaking positively. Stop saying words like you crazy, you soft, man up. We've heard that so many times in our lives.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Stop crying. We got to start to say, hey, I hear you. I see you. I feel you. We need to start saying those words to feed into the positivity and breaking the stigma. Because once we start doing that, then we can have the Confess Project, NAMI, and other organizations to come together and say, hey, we need to come together and start focusing on our communities. And I strongly believe that the Confess Project, we're doing that. We've trained over 1,000 barbers and we're in 40 cities and we're growing. So, with like-minded organizations, we're gonna continue to fight against breaking the stigma.
I came home and I was 23 years old when I came home. And all of a sudden, I wasn't Sergeant Kendrick anymore. I was just regular David Kendrick.
Right.
And at the same time, I'm facing all the prejudices of the world against black men. And I'm like, I just got done serving my country. I think I deserve some respect, but nobody seemed to care. And that's why I'm so glad that with NAMI, our programs are, you have to have a lived experience with mental health. Our programs, peer-to-peer connections, you have to have a lived experience to be able to talk to people. My mom saw me in Colorado Springs in a hospital bed healing after getting shot. And then she saw me in a padded room after suicide attempt. I didn't want to put my mom through that again. So I got the help that I needed. Now I want to help other veterans in Atlanta with the high population of homeless that we have that includes veterans. I want to let them know they can get the resources and let them know what my lived experience was.
So as a client myself, you know, I'm gracious that I have a barber that I can go talk to when I'm not okay. I can talk to them and they can see the body language. They can hear my tone. They can understand, okay, Darnell, you're not doing well today. How can I help you get to a focus group, get to an AA group, or even therapy?
So I just think that's important just to understand the right services are out there and the right resources are out there. It's sometimes even with this project, which I really love, is equipping the barbers with enough resources so that you can send them to the right place to get the help they really need.
So where do you as barbers get that desire to be motivators? You know, I mean, I always remember every time when I'm about to get out of the chair, the last thing I hear is something that motivates me for the next 2 weeks. And you guys do that, and it's just a part of almost like your DNA.
It's 17 of us in here. Yeah. Right? You ask us where we get it from. Yeah. Just waking up, coming to work. Okay. We got 17 of us in spirits, breaths, sufferings, you know, joy, celebrations, 17 different ones daily.
Y'all some powerful people, man. Y'all really are to do what y'all do and the passion that you have.
I look at the barbers as the barbers, but I also see you all as healers. You think about it, when you build a community in a non-judgmental zone, and healing comes from community, so it's a tribe. And as a woman, listening to Black men be authentic, we love that. We love that because we wear masks enough as it is, men and women. You know, Black women, we have the super Black woman complex. That's a mask. You know, little kids, they ask for exactly what they want. But the older you come and traumas and situations, and there goes the mask. It gets bigger and bigger. But then seeing people, my people, our people, take the mask off and almost become childlike. You show up as your true, authentic self. Ask for what you want, and it's okay to show emotions and be emotional. Yeah, I love it.
So now let's talk about the Confess Project from the standpoint of what you brothers do here. And if you were talking to another barbershop, say in Rochester, New York, or another barbershop to say, hey, you know, you all should get involved in the Confess Project and this is why, what would you tell them? And if they were saying, well, you know, we already rap with people. Why would you tell them to get involved with the Confess Project?
Well, I mean, the biggest reason for me is just because we're frontline, right? Frontline, then I have a few of my clients that are doctors, for example, right? And I talk to them all the time because I believe mental health is one of the biggest issues we have. The thing that they tell me the most is that the amount of people that I will be able to touch, they'll never be able to touch that amount because the people that they want to touch won't come to see them. They'll come see me though.
As a Black man, I wear my mask every day. But in the barbershop, I can unveil that mask and be the authentic self that I need to be. These barbers, they have the connect. They got the keys to the streets. You know what I mean? So it's so important that that relationship is intact with the client and the barber, but it's also very important that organizations like NAMI and the Confess Project are on the front lines as well in the community, meeting people where they are.
Check it out. Check it.